Welcome to episode 23 of our third series on the surnames and DNA of early Appalachian and Southern families. On today's episode, I earn my keep, so to speak. Our names today range from rare to extremely rare. I left a few rocks unturned to find information for this episode. We have some ground to cover, so let's get going. I hope you'll join me. Number 1, rank. As I've mentioned a few times here on the Vantage Point, short or simple names like mine or rank can have multiple origins and multiple meanings. As such, rank can be German, Czech, or English. Rank was a personal name in England and Germany, that's with an E. One could drop the E and have a simpler form of the name. In England, it could also be a pet form of the diminutive name Rankin, which is found in Scotland and Northern Ireland, as well as England. You might note that Rankin is itself a diminutive form of Randolph and Randall. I found a lot more information on rank families in Yorkshire, England, Baden, Germany, Austria, Ohio, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Minnesota than I did branches of the family in the South. Pennsylvania, though, is well represented in the records. One of the earliest families that I could find was the birth of George Rank, born in 1827, died in 1902, to unknown parents, at least to us anyway, in Indiana County, Pennsylvania, which is classified as an Appalachian county, by the way. At any rate, George married Jane Clark, born in 1829, died in 1902, of York County, Pennsylvania. Just as records of the family in the South are elusive, so is their DNA. Given the surname's possible origins, plethora of origins that is, I would expect plenty of subclades of IM253 and RU106, Germanic type haplogroups. Number 2, Swiny. That's right, Swiny, not Sweeney, Swiny. It's possible that this surname is sometimes a variant of Sweeney, but both names have different origins and meanings. I won't cover Sweeney today. Swiny is an Irish variant of Swiny with 2 N's, which is also found in Northumberland and Durham, England, as well as a form of Swinho. Forgive me if I'm doing that wrong, but that's the way it looks to me, Swinho. A habitational name from Bomborough. You might recognize Bomborough as a place of interest in the TV series The Last Kingdom. The series started off pretty good, but by the 3rd season it featured way too many deviations from history to make it interesting, to me anyway. At any rate, I found records of Swiny folk in Ireland, Australia, and England after the Industrial Revolution. There is a strong presence of Swiny folk in eastern Kentucky, specifically the Pike County area in the mid to late 1800s. One of the earliest lines that I could find was actually in Rowan County, North Carolina. William Alexander Swiny was born there in 1816 to unknown parents. At least they're unknown to us. They probably were pretty well known back in those days. Like his kids, he moved away from the Tar Heel State. He passed away in Illinois in 1899. Another early line that seems to have remained in the South was picked up by Joel Swiny, born around 1775, died somewhere around 1842. He was born in Sumner County, Tennessee. DNA data for men named Swiny are not plentiful. It looks like there are a few that have reported RFT5589-8 and RFT149-347. They are downstream or descended from RL121, which is a Celtic type DNA or haplogroup, Western Europe. At the end of the day, Swiny is an antebellum family of Irish or English origin. Number 3, Bias, or Bias. You're not making it easy for me today, folks. Bias is another name with multiple national origins and meanings. It could be an alternate form of Byers, as in Scotland or England. Or it could be an alternate form of Bias, a S on the end of it, in England. The fun doesn't stop at the English Channel, though. It could be from a French commune. In fact, there are 2 such places in France, Bias Lot Garonne and Bias en Land. Here's where it gets really fun. One of the earliest lines switched from Byers in Great Britain to by us in County Craven, Ireland. It changed once again to by us with an AS in Virginia and West Virginia. James Byus, Bayou is B-Y-U-S, was born in County Craven, Ireland around 1722 and died in Boone, Virginia before 1786. Boone became part of West Virginia when the new state formed in 1863. In terms of DNA, I was able to read the DNA results of 18 men who claimed descent from Byus fellows. Their DNA is closely connected to our FT 144, 124, and our A8033, which are common in England and the United States. At the end of the day, Byus is an antebellum family with roots in England or France. Number 4, Dalglish. Dalglish or Dalglish? This surname sounds old and distinctive to me. It's the name of a border Scottish family. They originated in Selkirkshire, Scotland. It essentially meant green field. Now in the border country, green fields are fairly common. In truth, folks, I've never met a person on either side of the Atlantic who carried this surname. I'm not trying to be belittling, I just have never met anybody with this name. Records suggest that many members of the family moved to Australia, Canada, South Africa, and New Zealand, as well as America. Texas seems to have been an attractive place for later Dalglish immigrants. Dalglish Construction Company was founded in 1981, not 1891, but 1981, and serves the Texas Hill Country. One of the earliest lines of Dalglish that I could find in the South, and it barely touches the region by the way, was started by James Everett Dalglish Sr., born in 1841, died in 1890. James was born in Scotland and moved to just outside of Washington, D.C., where he farmed. He married Mary Evelyn Small in 1872. I found that there are several disconnected and small branches of I and G haplogroups among men with the surname, but the largest cluster by far belongs to RFT 140-388, or a close subclade. This subclade is downstream of RL21, which is, of course, generally associated with the Celtic populations of Britain, Ireland, and Brittany, France. While members of Dalglish family have been in America since before the Civil War, I'm not inclined to call it a Southern antebellum family, but it is of Scottish origin. Number 5, Wills. Now, if you are a country and western music fan, you will have no doubt heard of a good old boy who never meant any harm, beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day he was born. His name, of course, was Waylon Jennings. I tell you this because you may not have heard of the musical giant who he named the King of Western Swing. Waylon gave that title to James Robert Bob Wills, born 1905, died in 1975, who was born on a farm in southern Limestone County, Texas. Bob Wills' grandfather was William Thomas Wills, born in 1850, and he was born in Robertson County, Tennessee. T for Texas and T for Tennessee. We don't know Bob's paternal great-grandparents' names, though. The surname Wills is, of course, linguistically English, but has a presence in Scotland as well as England. It means the son of Will. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any DNA data on the Wills family. Nonetheless, I'm confident that our Southern Wills families are antebellum and are of English or Scottish origin. Well, folks, that's about all I have for you today. I hope you got something meaningful out of the discussion, and will join me again here on The Vantage Point. If you'd like a free copy of the list of names and families that we've covered thus far, write to me at vantagepoint22@gmail.com, and I'll send it to you ASAP. Until I see you again, may the good Lord bless and keep you. May He make His face shine on you and give you peace. Bye-bye.